Okay, hey everybody, this is part 2 of my first video about student loans, specifically private student loans. And this video is going to be more straight to the point because I actually made a list of things I'm going to talk about. Okay, in the first video, you noticed that I'm talking a lot about how they can call you if you have a variable interest rate. And they can call you and tell you, oh, by the way, your interest rate has gone up. These companies may actually not call you. Do not expect them to call you and update you every single time something changes according to the policy you signed or something you may not know. They will not call you, or they may not call you. They may not. And as for the letters, they're supposed to send you letters. These letters may not come, may get lost. These letters may come months, late. They will not consider themselves responsible if you don't get your letter saying, by the way, your variable interest rate has gone up to 18% from 5%. So don't expect people to always do their job. I would check every month. And when it comes to direct deposit, a lot of banks will give you, they'll lower your interest rate, I think. Yeah, they'll lower your interest rate if you sign up for direct deposit. Now, don't sign up for direct deposit unless you know for sure you're going to have the money in there, and see what penalties there are if you sign up for direct deposit and it doesn't go through. My advice is to pay off interest plus the principal, or plus the whole amount. Pay off interest while you're in school. Do not delay it until after you graduate. You may not have a job, or you may be living paycheck to paycheck. So don't start paying. Don't wait until you're after school. Pay anything that you can every month. I say at least $50, like I said before. Look for real reviews. I've seen several websites that act like authorities on loans, but they're actually not real reviews. These companies are either being paid to write it. Some will even tell you. One page even told me that they were being paid by, Wells Fargo, to write this review for them. So it was actually a fake review. Another was a comparison site that had 5 different banks, and they all gave all the banks high scores on everything. That's obviously not accurate. The best thing to do is to get away from the camera. The best thing to do is to the best thing to do is to look for real. Some people even go to Answers, like Yahoo Answers, and they write stuff about their experiences. Look for real reviews by different humans about the different bank loans. Okay, keep receipts. Whenever you make payments, make sure you keep the receipts. Print out the confirmations, or have a part in your mailbox that where you send all your confirmations for every payment you make. I was Googling and I found several people who actually started lawsuits against companies. They were making payments towards their principal amount or their interest, and the banks would try to lie and say they never got the payment. So keep all the receipts and store them digitally. And in addition to digital receipts, I would also print them out and put them in a folder and keep them someplace safe. Read the fine print. Make sure you print out your whole agreement. I know it's a lot of small print, but print it out, staple it, and take some time. Read it, highlight the important things. For co-signers, when somebody co-signs a loan for you, because many of you will be eligible for a loan, but they'll say you're eligible with a co-signer. So you need somebody with decent enough credit to get to kind of back you up. If you do not, when it's time to pay the loan back, your co-signer will be responsible if you are not responsible. So if you miss a payment, they may come after your co-signer, and that's usually why people are really hesitant to co-sign for people, even parents, because you can ruin their credit and they can actually come after them. So make sure you're responsible and that you don't ruin the credit of whoever is willing to co-sign for you. When you want a loan, if you need a loan for a class or anything, you need to start applying for loans at least 1 month in advance of when you need it, because processing can take a while. Now, I got lucky because my loan I got the general approval and co-signer approved within 2 hours on the phone, and I'm pretty lucky with that. But for other people, like one of my friends said, for him it took like weeks to get all the paperwork and everything together. It may not be as easy. I feel like maybe they simplify the processes when he did it, but know that for some companies they may not have, like Discover has. You can call them, but do not call and sign up for loans unless you're at home, where you have your Social Security, your license, your bank statements. You need to have a scanner ready, have a printer ready, have a scanner ready, have all your personal documents ready when you apply for it. It'll save you so much more time, especially a scanner, because there probably will be documents you need So if you have a printer with a scanner, that would be good, or go to the library and do it or something like that. Oh yeah, for some undergraduate student loans, they are dispersed directly to the school. So don't think that unless you end up getting a refund check from that loan, and refund checks can take a while to get to students depending on what school you go to. I remember one of the schools I went to, like, they took forever for refund checks. I mean, weeks, months, like forever. So don't think that the money's gonna always go to you. If you're not sure, ask the bank. Are you going to give the money directly to the school, and then I get a refund check if there's extra, or will you give it to me and then I pay the school? Now in my case, the money went straight to the school, which is fine with me because that's all I needed it for. Also look at the dispersal dates. Make sure you know when your tuition is due, and you need to know when your actual loan will be activated so that the school can utilize the funds. Make sure that the dates match up. Preferably have the date that is dispersed before it's actually needed for the school, because that could be a big thing. So these are just some things you need to think about. Now, in terms of federal loans, there's two terms, subsidized and unsubsidized loans. What subsidized loans basically means, for any loan, you usually have interest. While you're in school, you don't pay your federal loans off until you're out of school. But while you're in school, if you have a subsidized loan, well, first of all, always go for subsidized loans. If you have the choice between a subsidized loan and an unsubsidized loan, always choose a subsidized loan, because a subsidized loans, while you're in school, they pay the interest on the loan for you. You still have to pay it back, but the government pays for all the interest on the loan. Whereas the unsubsidized loans, you're responsible for paying the interest. Now, you don't have to pay the interest while you're in school, but the interest is accruing and nobody's paying it off. Whereas with subsidized loan, the interest is accruing, but the government is paying for that interest. You don't have to pay for any of the interest while you're in school. So that's just a tidbit about the federal loans. And federal loans have a lot more options than private loans, and that's why I really had to look for which private company would work the best for that. So make sure before it's make sure you know the grace period or the deferment period. For most loans nowadays, there's 6 months after you graduate. You don't have to pay it back, but you need to make sure you know the policy. And like I said, make sure you know, in case you lose your job, if you have problems paying, make sure that they're willing to be negotiable. Because a lot of banks, I saw one bank, I think it was Wells Fargo, they said for the undergraduate student loan, should you become an employer to have problems paying, they will have no measures available to help support you or lower the loan or work with you. They're not going to work with you. You get a deferment, the 6 months deferment, and after the 6 month deferment, why am I looking that way? You get a 6 month deferment, and after that, you have to pay it, and they don't have any measures in place to kind of help buffer hardship. So be very aware of that. So this is a more serious video that I'm doing, but I just figured, since I was thinking about it, I should talk about it because a lot of people I know are signing up for loans. So that's all. I don't have a card for this one today, but yeah, check out my site, freespiritifumi.com. The link's going to be below. And also check out my Facebook page, Black Woman Moving On, and subscribe. So that's all. This is Fumi checking out. Bye-bye.